Can't get enough of Kelly and Ramya?
We're now on YouTube for you to indulge in highlights from our show.
One of the great things to do is enjoy soccer. Right now, there's so much talk going on around the world, so much happening involving the sport. Jon Attenborough is a soccer fan, and his favorite team is Dundee United of the Scottish Premier League. Jon Attenborough is blind. 2 years ago, along with his guide dog Sam, started visiting all 42 stadiums that make up the 4 Scottish professional soccer leagues, He wanted to make awareness, just to kind of get people knowing that people with vision impairment or disabilities should get out there. Wanted to make awareness that we're fans and enjoy soccer. He is speaking to us today from Perth, Scotland. Welcome, Jon, to the program. We appreciate you being here on Kelly and Ramya. Kind of curious, though, because you know the first question, the leading question of all, what inspired you to visit all 42 stadiums in the Scottish Soccer League?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on. And the thing that really inspired me to kind of take on this challenge really was just because I love soccer. I love football so much. I'm a big fan, and obviously having a visual impairment and that, it comes with its own challenges when it comes to going to live games and that, but it's the live experience that I really enjoy. And I decided that I wanted to try and go to all 42 stadiums in Scotland with my guide dog Sam, just to try and encourage more people with visual impairments, more disabled people to, get along to their local clubs and get out and sort of enjoy the sport that we all love.
Okay.
Step away from the radio and TV kind of experience, which so many of us may not be able to enjoy. Okay, so in the stadiums, how would you describe the quality of accessibility inside the stadiums for people with disabilities, particularly, of course, yourself with a vision impairment?
Yeah, it's quite a mixed bag, really. So obviously we've got the 2 big clubs here in Scotland, Celtic and Rangers, who have, a 50,000 and a 60,000 seater stadium. These 2 clubs do accessibility really well, as you would imagine, and it's a sort of well-oiled machine with these 2 big clubs, Celtic and Rangers. It gets a bit more trickier when it comes to perhaps the lower league clubs, who are maybe more community-based football clubs, and a lot of them are actually run by volunteers, and some of them don't even have seats. They'll maybe be the old terracing.
Right.
But what I've actually found with the smaller clubs is it's actually it's a place where everybody kind of knows each other. So you could go along so for instance, last weekend I was along at a club called Dumbarton Football Club, which is just outside Glasgow. And they couldn't have been more welcoming. They contacted me before the game to say, we know you're coming along. If there's anything that you and Sam need, let us know. We were met when we arrived by the club's disability access officer, who kind of gave us a bit of orientation around the ground. So I've actually found the smaller clubs have a bit more time for things like that.
And it, again, the way you pointed out, it makes sense. Now, we've got a clip of you attending the Motherwell versus Livingston match at Fir Park. Let's check out this audio.
Yep. Come with me and guide dog Sam as we head to Fir Park today to see Motherwell versus Livingston in a pre-season friendly. And this was ground number 32 out of 42 on me and Sam's journey to visit all 42 SPFL clubs. And when we arrived, we made our way to the accessible entrance and were shown into the accessible seating area. And I must say, in terms of disability access, I was actually really impressed with the facilities at Motherwell. They were really, really good. And once we got settled into our seat, they went and got Sam a bowl of water, which Sam was very grateful for. And by that time, it was time for the start of the first half. And it was a decent first half, and Motherwell got 2 goals and went into the break with a 2-0 lead. And at half-time, I got a Coke and a packet of crisps. And then it was time for the second half. And Livingston got a goal back in the second half, but it wasn't enough to make a comeback, and Motherwell comfortably won the game 2-1. Overall, it was a really fantastic experience for me and Sam today. Really and thoroughly enjoyed our visit to Fir Park, and we will definitely be back again. So where would you like to see me and Sam go next?
Wow.
Nice.
I wonder how the teams feel about you being there so much, going around. Your reputation must precede you.
Well, it's interesting. I've kind of make these little videos as I go around all the different grounds, and there's a particular reason I do that. It's to put it out there on social media so that other, fans who have maybe got a visual impairment or other disability can actually see for themselves what experience would be like if they did want to go along to their local clubs. And what I found is the clubs, I always tag the club into my videos, and the clubs themselves actually share the videos as well to their supporters to kind of help this journey, really, and try and help encourage more people to come along to the games, which is ultimately what we all want to see.
Yeah, and if they're sharing your content, then they need to be confident in the accessibility that they're offering, right? That's essentially what we want, like everybody to be on the same page, but you're making it very public knowledge. And I thought you did a great job with just the AD for anyone who's watching. So how many stadiums have you visited thus far to date, and when do you want to get all 42 in?
So to date, we've actually done 32 out of the 42 stadiums.
Okay.
So we only have 10 more to go. And the aim is that I've kind of planned it out a little bit, and we're going to finish it hopefully at the end of September. And I've picked the place where I'd like to finish as well. That would be at Forfar Athletic Football Club. And there's a particular reason for that, because Forfar in Scotland is where the Big Guide Dogs training school is. So it's where Sam was trained, and it's where all the guide dogs who go through Scotland's guide dog system are trained. So I thought it'd be a really appropriate place to end this journey in Forfar.
When we look at a general impression that the teams have given you in receiving you and Sam, or again, we're all going to like our stadiums or not, what has been that overall reception when they know you're coming along after, and if you give them any feedback, negative or positive?
That was one of the things I was really quite anxious about when we started this journey, was how are all the clubs going to receive this? Are they going to be a bit anxious? Are they going to be welcoming? Are we going to face any guide dog refusals? Because as we know, that's quite a common thing. And thankfully, on our part, every club we've visited so far has been absolutely wonderful. The supporters of every club have been just unbelievable, and I think everybody just loves having a dog on the terraces.
Yeah,
it's not something you see every day. So Sam's actually built up quite a reputation amongst the sort of soccer community in Scotland as well.
That's so
Sam,
cute.
it's great to have you here. Oh, and you too, John.
It's really him who they're following on social, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Yeah.
So which one of these stadiums, the 32 you visited so far, because you mentioned like the leagues and the kind of general difference between things, but which stadium would you point out to say golden standard for accessibility thus far? And can you give us some examples of why it's the most accessible?
There's a couple of ones. I mean, first of all, they're all really good in their own way.
Okay.
So there's not really been a bad one in terms of accessibility, but some of the ones that have gone above and beyond. I actually have to give Motherwell a shout out as well. The club I was just at the weekend there in the video of. I thought their facilities were fantastic. Another one is a club here in Perth, actually, St Johnstone Football Club. Bev, the disability access officer at St Johnstone, just goes above and beyond for all the disabled supporters at St Johnstone, and even the away fans who visit. So, for instance, they have an at-your-seat catering service. So for anyone who finds difficulty navigating the concourse, maybe at halftime to get some food and that, they'll come and take your order at your seat.
Nice.
They also have the audio descriptive commentary for blind and partially sighted supporters as well. They have sensory bags for anybody who's got a neurodiverse condition and needs that sort of thing as well. So St Johnstone go above and beyond. And Celtic are another one. Celtic actually just became the first club in Scotland to introduce the audio commentary at their women's games as well, just last season. So they now offer the audio descriptive commentary to blind and partially sighted supporters at their women's game as well as the men's games, which has been really good too.
I quickly just want to get to this, John, before we wrap up with you. I know myself as a sports fan, I go to some live games, baseball, basketball, and I'm able to find ways to follow what's going on. How do you do it with soccer? I have trouble, even when it's on the TV, following what's going on unless the announcers are speaking. You're right there in person.
Yeah, so one of the things that a lot of the clubs in Scotland, about 60% of the top 2 leagues have what we call audio descriptive commentary. So what they do is you arrive at the stadium, they give you a little radio receiver and a headset to put on. And there's somebody doing very descriptive commentary, somebody doing live commentary in the stands, commentating on the game. So you can hear the commentary of the match in your ear, which has been really fantastic. Because, I mean, as you say, even the TV commentaries can quite often not be that great if you've got a visual impairment. So it's great that we have that service in Scotland.
Yeah, it is. And, a lot of us do workarounds, right? Like Kelly said, we'll go to a live sports event and then pop in an earphone to listen to what the radio announcers, play-by-play and color commentators are saying, because that's the only way we can actually follow. God forbid there's a delay.
God forbid they actually don't have radio coverage.
Oh, man, I know, right? We can only go to the real expensive games. Okay, so you're a Dundee United fan. What are your expectations for the team when they start the season next month?
Oh, it's been a roller coaster of emotions being a Dundee United fan. As long as we stay in the league, I'll be happy with that. But I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
I love it. John, thanks for, number one, coming on the show, because you've enlightened so many of us with so much of this amazing conversation here today. Enjoy touring those last 10 and then starting all over again, as I'm sure you will. And the best to you and Sam. We hope you continue to be received well.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you.
We were speaking to Jon Attenborough from Perth, Scotland, about his tour of Scotland's premier stadiums, soccer stadiums, raising awareness about accessibility. You can follow him on the social media platform X, Jon Attenborough. That's at JONATTENBOUR. GH. All right. Real wonderful talk with Jon. Appreciate it, and the time, and just so much to take away from that, especially someone like myself, who's not ever been able to really follow soccer, and I couldn't imagine it in person.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly feel like we need to start taking Scotland's Premier League as inspiration out here, because it sounds like they're doing an incredible job.
Description, just like going to a movie. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
You can catch Kelly and Ramya weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern on AMI.